Okay, so let's see the harmonic oscillator. So this is the diagram of harmonic oscillator. First one is your equilibrium position. Second one is stretch position, and third one is your compressed position. Okay. So let's see the first extension. We have to write down the extensions. So let's see the first extensions. First extension. So to solve the first constant and then find out the frequency also. So in the first extension, we can write down that is plus x2 minus x1. We also write down like this, x2 minus x1. Okay, this is equation number first. Also write down the second extension. Similarly, we have to write down the second extension. Okay, so the first extension is for you can say that this is what the stage position. Okay, this is what the stretch position. And the second extension is for the compressed position. Okay. So in the stretch position, as we see the stretch position, so here in the stretch position, we can see the sign of x1 and x2. So here the x1 is minus and x2 is plus. So we can simply write down the value of plus x2 and minus x1. Similarly, we also write down the compressed position. So in this case, the equation will be minus x2 plus x1. Okay, so just write down this is equation number second. Okay, then try to find out the force constant, that is nothing but your k, and after that we solve the function of frequency. The two atoms are performing simple harmonic motion. You can write down here this the two atoms performing simple harmonic motion. Hence, the force acting on them, hence, the force acting on them is is proportional to the displacement produced. Okay. So by using this statement, you can write down the relation between force acting on mass m1 and force acting on mass m2. So let's see. We can write down here. So the force is acting on mass m1 is equal to minus force acting on mass m2. We can write down the equation. Force acting on mass, that is force constant, is nothing but your minus k x2 minus x1 is equal to m2 times a2. Okay, and similarly we also write down for second extension, that is x2 minus x1 is equal to m1 times a1. Okay, so these are the two equations. As these two equations, so we just write down the acceleration. The acceleration, that means a produce is given by produce is given by, so the formula of a, that is what your acceleration a is nothing but a is nothing but 4 pi square 4 pi square nu square times x. Okay, so let's solve one by one equation. Now here we have to solve the first equation, that is minus k. So therefore minus k x2 minus x1 is equal to, actually there is a correction here, so this is what the minus terms. Okay, so minus m2 a2. Okay, so solve this bracket. So you can write down minus k times x2. So it is what x2. So minus minus plus. So k times x1 is equal to minus m2 as it is, and the value of a is nothing but 4 pi. So m2 times 4 pi square nu square times x. Okay, so let's solve this equation and you have to find out the value of x here. So you want to find out the value of x. So what is the next step? Just shift the negative terms, that means x2 kx2 to the right hand side of the equation. So the equation will be kx1 is equal to, so this minus become plus, so kx2 minus, and we just rearrange this equation like 4 pi square mu square m2 times x2. So this is what x2, because of a2 is here. Okay, after that x2 get common factor, so here we just x2 is common, so the equation will be, so equation is like that, kx1 is equal to k minus we have to find out the value of x1 first. So x1 will be k minus 4 pi square mu square times m2 divided by k times x2. So this is what the first value of x1. Okay. Similarly, we can find out the second extension values. So here you can try to solve this second extension. Here I will just draw the vertical line here. Okay. And let's see the second equation by using second equation. Okay. X2 minus x1 is equal to minus m1 times a1. Similarly, you have to uh, put the value of a1 and solve this bracket as it is. So k times x2, so it is nothing but k x2, it is minus, so k x1 is equal to minus m1. The value of a again is nothing but 4 pi square mu square x1. Okay. Again, now here we have to find out, means we know the value of x1. Just shift this negative terms to the right hand side of the equation, so the equation will be k x2 is equal to, so this is what negative, after shifting it is positive k x1, then rest of the term as it is 4 pi square mu square times m1 x1 here. Again x1 get common out here, we can, the x1 will be common factor, so we just write down the equation like this. K x2 is equal to k x2 is equal to k minus 4 pi square mu square times m1, and x1 is common factor. Okay. Now we know that the value of x1. So put the value of x1, that means this value. So you can write down, put the value of x1 in above equation. So we get k x2 is equal to k minus 4 pi square mu square times m1, and the value of x1 is nothing but, it is k minus 4 pi square mu square times m2 divided by k times x2. Now I'm not going in detail step by step. I will just rearrange these steps. Means suppose if we shift this x2 terms to the right hand side of the equation, then it will be denominator, and the terms x2 and this x2 will get cancelled out. So the remaining equation will be, that means k is equal to, actually again it is k times k, so it is what, k square. If you shift this k to the left hand side of the equation, okay, so the k into k, it is k square. एक ते दोन स्टेप वाढल्या असत्या, मी इथेच रिअरेंज केलेलं आहे. ओके, जर समजली नाही तर विचार ही स्टेप मी ह्या स्टेप मध्ये रिअरेंज करून इक्वेशन लिहिते. सो द रिमेनिंग टर्म विल बी k minus 4 pi square u square times m1. This is m1, and here remaining is what, into k minus 4 pi square u square into m2. Okay, so again solve this bracket. Okay, so I will repeat, I will again write down last stage, last step here. So the k square is nothing but k minus 4 pi square mu square m1 times k minus 4 pi square mu square m2. So we multiply this bracket into this, so the equation will be k square. So multiply k by this bracket. So k into k is nothing but k square minus k into 4 pi square this term. So the equation will be 4 pi square mu square m2 times this k. Okay, so this is what the first. Similarly, you have to multiply this 4 pi square into this term again. So the equation will be 4 pi square mu square m1 into k plus, now here the 4 pi square and this multiply with this one. So here the equation will be 4 pi square mu square, okay, bracket square, and this is nothing but your m1 and m2, m1 times m2. So this is what the multiplication. Now again, if you shift this k square to the left hand side of the equation, then it will be negative, and after adjusting rearrangement of this term, then minus and this positive get cancelled out. So I will just write down here, मी एक step लिहित नाही ती परत, just for your understanding. So it will be 0 and the rest term is as it is. So minus 4 pi square mu square m2 times k minus 4 pi square mu square m1 k. The remaining term is as it is, plus 4 pi square mu square bracket square m1 times m2. इथं आपण कॉमन सुद्धा घेऊ शकतो, m1 m2 फॅक्टर, this one. Okay, so the next step वाढेल फक्त 4 pi square mu square and the k. So here m1 plus m2 plus 4 pi square mu square bracket square and again m1 times m2. Okay, we just balance this equation, that means remove the 0, so we can write down the 4 pi square mu square k m1 plus m2 is equal to 4 pi square mu square bracket square, that is m1 times m2 again. Okay, if we rearrange this equation, that means we shift this term to the right hand side of the equation, then the equation will be k m1 plus m2 is equal to 4 pi square mu square divided by 4 pi square mu square times m1 m2. Now the denominator and one numerator will get cancelled out. So finally the equation will be k m1 plus m2 is equal to 4 pi square mu square in bracket m1 times from here. That means we can find out the value of k is equal to 4 pi square mu square, and this term will be shifted to the right hand side of the equation, then into m1 times m2 divided by m1 plus m2. As we know, the formula of reduced mass, that is mu, तुम्हाला माहितीच आहे की reduced mass चा formula काय ते. Just put the value of mu here. We know that. So we know mu is nothing but m1 times m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So therefore the above equation will be k is equal to 4 pi square mu square times mu. Okay, so this what this is what the value of k here. Okay, using this equation we can find out the frequency, that is mu. We also find out the mu. So just rearrange this equation and you can simply write down like this. Mu is equal to 1 upon 2 pi under root k upon mu. Okay, so this is what the second equation. Ithर step by step directly घेतलेलं step by step. So just rearrange this equation and square. So it is what under root. Okay, so this value, that means k, is used to determine the force constant of any band. Okay, so this is what the explanation of simple harmonic oscillator, and you have to find out the value of k by using this equation. Okay, so I hope you understand. Thank you.